QPR, QPR, Six Park Rangers are on the up and up. QPR, QPR, now we're heading for European Cup.
Citizen Smith, Keith Allen, Lily Allen, Hugh Grant, Michael Jackson. Your boys took a hell of a beating on Saturday. This is a QPR Open All Hours History Pod. We have the monkey off our back. Right, that's that one done. I'm Paul Finney. I'm joined tonight by three QPR fans, one lucky enough to wear the blue and white iconic shirt with dignity and pride, which is Marc Bircham. Thanks for joining us, Marc. I appreciate it.
Yeah, pleasure.
And you were there Saturday as well?
Yeah, I was, yeah. I landed Friday night back from Phoenix, and then that's the only thing I've probably missed is going to QPR. I managed to take my boy, and it's great because my dad used to take me, and I'll take my boy there, and it was just a great day.
You're passing on the love.
Yeah, passing on the disease, really. with love, you get some highs. Like, it's more of a genetic disease you get passed down that you have to suffer with a few highs.
Right. Right, that's my introduction out the window. Joined as well by Ian McCullough. Without the bunny men, I'm sure you've had that all your life, haven't you? I mean, that must be the most boring joke ever, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's a journalist. Welcome, Ian. Last time you came on, you were living in Oz, and you've moved back.
No, the last time I was on, I'd moved back from Oz.
Has you?
The first time I was on, I was living in Oz.
That pub sold awful strong cider. This is going brilliantly. Anyone who's still left listening, Chris Charles, BT Sport.
Hello.
The main man. I tell you what, you had some fun on Saturday, boy, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I
I
spent Saturday with Chris, and he was wobbling on the way home.
Yeah, that's. I mean, 30 years worth of drinking though had to be done in a short space of time before I could get back. So I was drinking like a teenager.
And
but I don't think I disgraced myself, did I? Did I?
Anyway, welcome to the podcast. As I said, right. So I'm going to start with. Funny enough, Chris, I'm going to start with you. What was your expectation for the match, during the match, and how did you feel after the match?
Right, well, expectation before the match was damage limitation, really. Having gone up there, seen 6-0, 4-0. I mean, I was hoping, as I said on the podcast last week, I'd have taken, if someone had offered 1-1, I'd have bitten your hand off, to be honest, because it was just a case of stopping the rot. So that was before, but I had a funny feeling I was on the way in, and I thought, we could do this. And I'm not saying I'm psychic, but I also had a bad feeling, Blackburn and Preston, I don't know, just you could tell by the atmosphere, fans weren't up for it. But this time, I don't know, everyone seemed up for it. Everyone seemed to put on a united front, which hasn't been at QPR for a while, for one reason and another. And I don't know, Christ almighty. I mean, during the match, I spent most of it either with my head in my hands or like just on top of my head like this. It was like the most exciting and the most horrifying game I've ever been to.
Well, then missing a penalty after 5 minutes. If you can't get up for it then yeah, I think that worked for us.
Yeah,
really.
No, it did. Yeah, I mean that sort of kick-started it, didn't it? Really, but. I mean, we could have quite easily lost that game 10-6, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely.
But
that makes it even sweeter, though. When you win games and you don't deserve to, it's even better.
And I think we were due a bit of luck, to be honest. I mean, despite having Lee Mason playing for them, I should say, and doing his level best to give them as much as he could.
I don't think he had a bad game as a ref.
Really?
Well, I think both penalties are penalties.
The first one?
Yeah, but he's grabbed in 2 hands.
I wasn't sure about the second one. I wasn't sure that he actually...
Naden kicked him in the head.
But the geezer's bent down though.
He still kicked him. He's still not got the ball and kicked him in the head.
In fact, if that happened in the middle of the park, he wouldn't have been.
100% it would have. 100%. If you kick someone in the head, it's a free kick.
But the mad thing was, in all my years of watching football, I've never seen 2 penalties given and not one person in the stadium would appeal for it. Yeah, none of their players put their hands up for it either.
Not with the free kick because they're not looking at that, but the other one they appealed for it.
It was like none of the Fulham fans went up saying, "Oh, it was an obvious penalty."
Yeah, but when the players appeal for it, it's more of a penalty when the fans appeal for it. And if you look at every Fulham player around it, they sort of appeal for it. It's a penalty. I looked it back on the telly. He's kicked him in the head in the box.
But first of all,
that's even better.
First of all, he shouldn't have had that. Where that 5 minutes came from, I've got no idea. I mean, there was no.
Smithies got injured, didn't he?
Yeah. Not for a massive amount of time, I didn't see. I mean, again, I'm looking at it through QPR glasses, obviously.
Well, you go 30 seconds a sub.
Yeah.
There was at least 4 or 5 subs.
Yeah, okay.
30 seconds a goal.
Yeah. What made me laugh is, seriously though, the clappers. I just don't get it. You do the clappers. I mean, maybe it's a big thing in America, I don't know. But grown men with clappers Seriously, it's about. It wasn't that until, like, it's supposed to be their big derby. It's like, suppose they did a whole thing on their website. I don't know if you've seen it before the match. They put this whole video together of all the montage of all the time they've stuffed us. And
yeah, well, that wouldn't have been too difficult. Would it?
Yeah, exactly.
That was hours. You got bored of it.
And they do like, and you think it's like supposed to be like, and you get in there, and there's no passion from them lot. There was nothing. Whereas our lot, in all fairness, were amazing. I thought I suppose you might have been recognised on Saturday a few times, Birch.
A few times I had a cap on, so I kept out the way a bit.
Well, what did you think?
The fans, yeah, excellent. Normally, that you get to keep your away fans, I think never a problem. Normally, at home they do get a little bit quiet and wait to be entertained. I think that's got to do with, as a fan, I don't know if you say it, I prefer it in the Championship. I don't like being in the Premier League as a fan. I get more enjoyment to see real QPR fans at the ground in the Championship without all the razzmatazz of the Prem and this and that and looking at the...
And the hammerings.
And I spoke to... My other mate's a Newcastle fan, and they're saying they enjoy it more in the Championship. Not because it's not the winning, it's more real. Like when you're in the Premier League, it's a little bit false. You get the ticket prices go up, foreign fans come in, and I think that's what Fulham struggle with. That if you walk into the ground, in around the ground, there's so many foreign fans there that it's hard to get an atmosphere. Because whether they're fans or supporters or not, they're not true die-hard fans. And I think that's why it's always, when you go a big following away from home, the atmosphere is always better because it's people that actually do really want to be there.
Yeah, but generally football club, that's very rarely now. A football club in any level where the home support is unbelievably passionate. No. Away from home, it's a different story.
There's a few. Give or take, Palace is really good at home when they're at home. Stoke's good at home as a home. Probably not this season if you ask them, but generally, QPR, I think when I've gone down there, they've been a crowd that want to be entertained, and they're waiting for it to happen instead of making it the atmosphere and getting it going. And because we've taken a lot of punches in the last few years, let's not get wrong, and been a bit disheartened, but.
It's also because the football, I mean, like you said, especially, I mean, I think, like I said, all the fans are up for it anyway, but first 5 minutes penalty miss is going to get you going. And I think, like the last time we played, there was some sort of injustice from the ref, and that got the fans going.
Rob Stein, I think. My mate Rob Stiles.
Yeah. I don't know if it was injustice we deserved to be sent off, but it seemed harsh at the time.
Yeah, but what I mean, but the thing as well as at home is you've got the lot in the Q block who obviously like singing for most of the match, but then other people who might be singing are just scattered around different parts of the ground. Whereas at Fulham or wherever else, you've got everyone's all in as one. And it just made a nice change not to be 2 or 3 down by half time as well. So.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying about. So I don't even think I'm not correcting you. I don't think it's foreign fans. Their fans are manufactured away from, and all they knew is like the Xbox. Whereas our
ground
fans,
that has a neutral stand is not got no place in.
Well, they're trying. I mean, there was a case of like. I mean, listen, our lot was superb on Saturday. I mean, I'm not going to tell you anything, but I took a photograph during the match and I put it on Twitter, and there's Fulham fans, which I didn't realise at the time until I took the photograph. Looked at it on Sunday. One was reading a newspaper. He's just we're watching the game, and he's reading news. And
there's been a lot of QPR games I'd rather read. She's probably clever.
But what newspaper was it?
I have no idea. Possibly the Telegraph. Yeah, we are. Yeah. But the thing is, I thought defensively we were very shaky Saturday. I mean, what did you think? Ian, defensively,
to be honest, I thought it was more than midfield to start with.
Okay.
Their 2 best players are Parker and Kearney, and their manager took them off.
For
the last half hour, they weren't there anymore, and Luongo in particular really started to grow into the game. But yeah, I mean, I think Grant Hall's I think he's better on Saturday, but I think he's had a difficult season. I mean, the Cardiff game up there, he got bailed out twice by Bidwell. Really kind of covered his arse really, and I just think I don't know. He's a young fella, you're going to make mistakes, but I don't know. I'd be tempted maybe to put Lynch in the middle. But
what about Corker? Corker was sort of doing his wandering minstrel act, wasn't he? Just, I mean, I know when he was at Liverpool, I think they played him 3 times, and each time I think was an emergency centre forward. So maybe he's our Paul Orhurst. Maybe we're playing. He
clearly went off the line, didn't he? So
he did. Yeah. No. He fine, but I mean, a few people were talking about that and saying, that sort of Henry had to cover for him, and I don't think Henry did that bad on Saturday. I mean, he comes in for a lot of grief, but I wouldn't have him in the starting 11 if there's other options available. I presume Ariel Borusiuk, whatever his name was injured because he
Jordan
wasn't
Cousins.
So I like Cousins.
That's his best position.
Yeah,
in centre midfield. He's a number 8.
He's a box-to-box. Yeah.
He's got great energy. You know, he's very what we didn't have on Saturday.
Yeah.
But can as a club, team, and effort, can we build it? I mean, you just said when you see a penalty in the first 5 minutes. I mean, do these games change managers' careers?
I 100% I think Saturday, because it was a good atmosphere at the game, but there was an air where it could turn if we don't start well, and we went 1-0 down, maybe 2-0 down. I wouldn't have been surprised if it did turn with the supporters. Just chatting to them.
He had to win that. Everything that happened this week, they had to win that.
And I think I like Jimmy as a person, but you couldn't have got a better result than when we needed it, and it needed there because it could have turned with the international weekend. You never know, all this other stuff. It would have all built up to Reading at home, and then there's massive pressure there. But to win that game 2-1, when, as we said, we should have lost it. The team missing 2 penalties, hit the post, hit the bar.
Missed
the Ronnie Rosenthal opening goal.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. How everything could go right in that game. And if you can't build on that, then you can't build on anything. Because as players, you're thinking, hang on, we've got that. Now let's look forward to Reading at home.
I think as well, I mean, a bit of credit to the team because they were undermanned. No natural left back on the side. You know, Henry's probably 3rd or 4th choice centre midfielder now behind the Polish boy and Cousins, and you know, Washington's not a natural winger.
I thought Washington did really well.
He did all right, but they dug in and they showed more passion and desire and courage than they have done.
I think
certainly last year, that Friday night debacle when they were just embarrassing.
That was a disgrace. I had to get drunk to forget it.
Embarrassing.
I woke up early to watch that in an Irish pub in Chicago. Wish I never.
Yeah, that'll be your first time with it.
No.
But that's different reasons. The thing is, I kind of looked at it on Saturday, and I kind of do feel that it could be corner turning. It could be one of them things as well. But the one thing that impressed me most was the fact that the heads didn't drop and they kept going, and they were missing chance after. They play. It makes it so sweet, though. They played us off the park at times, and the little 1-2 stinky football, everything else they did. That miss is one of the best misses I've ever seen in my life. For Connor to get his first goal, I thought was the best shift he's put in a QPR shirt. To me, he's not a natural striker. I know one things I'm biased because I'm Northern Irish, but I don't think he is a natural striker. I think we still need that, but get more results, beat Reading next week, and I suppose what we've got to do is quickly talk about the Telegraph. I mean, we can't ignore it. We've got to address it.
Well, I went before. I mean, this sort of leads on to that, really. But I think it was a sort of pivotal game for Jimmy, as you said, Birch. I mean, if we'd have got stuffed again there, then it was just waiting for the fans to turn. I mean, all in all, I thought the fans gave it a good support, and he didn't get any bit. I heard there's a few chanting from, I think, Fulham fans, and then I did see some stuff in the QPR end. I thought it was a QPR. I said Jimmy's a liar to the tune of Will Griggs on fire, but I think it was from our end. But again, that might.
I just
have
had
been
the gritty so-and-so one.
Yeah, that was definitely from Fulham.
Oh God! Yeah.
But I heard it just briefly for about 10 seconds. But I think Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank sort of went for it in that game. I think he almost knew that doing a conservative, sitting back and losing 2-0 is not going to appease anyone. It was almost like shit or bust. I've got to go for this, and I mean. There for the grace of God.
I don't think we did. I just think it turned out like that. With Silla getting a goal at the end and Shapido come on, who I thought was our best attacking player.
He made good subs, to be fair. The subs he made were all.
We were still under pressure. Remember, Scotty Parks had one cleared off the line. They've hit the post. They've hit the bar.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we just went gung over and went for it. We were sort of like sitting back and they was creating chances and we were sort of countering. And I just think the way it turned out, it was just meant to be our game.
But there was that
15-minute spell before we scored. We were the better side.
Yeah.
Anua should have scored that back post header. Shadipo should have had a penalty.
But what about their wingers missed an header from 5 yards?
Yeah, absolutely. But he was good. He was very impressive.
What I was trying to say was it was. I mean, they definitely should have scored more than us. But for all the waves they were having coming forward, we were having quite a few as well. We weren't just like sitting back.
But we forget they're not a great team. They got beat with it 3-0 before by Bristol City.
Yeah, and then on that game they had 22 shots as well. So they're obviously creating a lot of chances against teams.
But going back to the Telegraph story.
Yes, sorry.
We need to. My initial reaction, as everyone knows on Twitter, was kind of like, that's it, he's got to go because his own video. But I have to say, Lee Hughes absolutely played it blind on what he did, asking for the tapes, asking for everything for the Daily Telegraph, knowing it's not a court of law, knowing he wasn't going to get it. Absolute masterstroke, and that is the difference between having a decent CEO who saved. If Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank goes on to better things, he owes Lee Hughes a massive drink. I tell you, because he did step in.
You can't say that. It's libel. That a massive drink.
Of water and a slap in the back. No, but it was and that's the difference now. I think we have got a proper CEO who can see a situation and argue it legally and based on fact, and therefore no story from the Telegraph, and we go and beat Fulham. There you go.
It's crazy to think for all those years we didn't have a CEO when Mark Devlin was shoved out by Palladini. No. We had no CEO. Who was one?
What was Phil Beard?
Can I get back to
I know what he was. Yeah. Like, I know who he is, but what was his title?
He was CEO.
Well, he was that, but
he was playing golf with Joe Barton. I think was his biggest.
His background's in retail. I mean, I think he was basically brought in to oversee this new stadium project, which obviously hasn't actually got.
Warren Farm. Any news on that? Is that?
Well, the thing is, I'm biased because I've got to declare I do know Devil, so I can't really say he was a good CEO or not because people say I'm biased. But
he's done well at Brentford.
And Mark's a terrific. Sorry, I read that. He's terrific, isn't he?
No moment's bother.
Yeah, but he's a QPR lad. He stood in the terraces beside us.
Yeah,
I've known him for a long time. Decent fella, worked his arse off, and Palladini just absolutely did the wrong thing. But then Palladini did many wrong things, and he even banned me for a while. But never mind. But there you go. We move on. What I'm saying is that was a good move by the club, and fair play to Lee Hughes. Jimmy, don't be so silly in the future. It's not even that I'm annoyed. Do you know what I'm annoyed about more than anything? I just knew we'd be in it. Do you know what it came out?
Guaranteed. I
just knew we would be in it somewhere along the line. I think, why always us? But why always us? Yeah. Why do we always fall for these stupid bloody stings? You know, because can we not just avoid? You know, it's just stop it.
We're never in the news for good football. It's never football. When we're never in the news, you just get used to it.
Even the season one promotion, it was all based on will they go up, won't they go up, and everything else.
Everybody gets used to it. That's what we are.
I think Jesus hits us sometimes. It's not right.
But we've been known as what's known as always been a spiv club. We've always been ducking and diving. No, but we have from Gregory. Yeah. From Gregory. Then we had Bulstrode for a bit. He died mysteriously. That got swept under the carpet.
Well, it wasn't mysteriously, was it?
Yeah. Well, it says mysteriously, and with the roof covering Loftus Road, and then it's just we've always been it. We're used to it.
Well, Bulstrode was a strange one because when he first came, of course, it was a Marlow Estates, Fulham Park Rangers. Yeah. And then just as he was coming on board, I hesitate to say that, and he actually was getting involved more with QPR. Yeah. He was actually getting it, and then of course it all went wrong tragically. And then Richard Thompson came in, who I think was just his dad was
too naive. He was too naive. Yeah. He just got taken advantage of.
His dad was getting in, and then we stupidly sacked Jerry at the completely wrong time. And I know some people weren't fans of Jerry, but I just think that was a stupid decision. And it took us decades to recover from that, in my humble opinion. And I think we're still a long way from the finished article. This is still a team that needs a lot of progression, needs a lot of things done behind the scenes properly. But winning at Fulham is a great monkey to get off your back, as I said earlier on. I mean, does anyone remember the last time we beat them?
No, I'm far too young for that, mate.
I thought you might do, Paul.
No, I mean at Craven Cottage, sorry. No, we beat them at home.
1980. Yeah, it was 1980. And I think I did a tweet, Pretenders were at number one with Brass in Pocket. And
the Cold War was over, the Berlin Wall's down.
Yeah, yeah.
But to them it means a lot. I mean, you forget how much it meant to them that they had to bring their clappers. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, but it was like when Brentford beat us. It's like when we beat Chelsea. It's a circle of life as it goes in West London.
Do you remember, we had a chat, we not just said this, but after we beat Brentford and you scored that goal, didn't you stop for petrol at Brentford a couple of days afterwards and had a bit of an altercation?
That was I think that was the season after. I used to get abused by Brentford fans, and I've never said a bad word against Brentford. I actually like Brentford. So one of my relatives is Phil Older, who was assistant to Steve Perriman. So as youngsters, if QPR was too far away and we couldn't get there, we used to go to Brentford and watch Brentford. And the first time I knew there was any sort of rivalry between Brentford and QPR was when I played for Mill, and we played Brentford on the telly Friday night. And as I was playing, they were singing Stand Up If You Hate Rangers, and all the other Mill players know I'm a Rangers fan. They're giving it, what's all this? I ain't got a clue. I didn't know they hated us. And it was only from then that then I scored in the first game, my first ever goal was against Brentford. Then I scored there. Then my only other goal for Yeovil was at Brentford. And I got up and sung in front of them, "Come on you R's," when I scored. So I was getting spat at and thrown stuff. And it was "Come on you R's" super hoops as I was standing in front of them. They pelted me with everything. So, yeah, they even like Rowley thanked me, because when Rowley's big comeback game was at Brentford and they hated him for about 5 minutes, and then they started on me. It took the pressure right off him.
That was some goal you scored there before.
It probably wasn't my best goal, but it was the best goal because Ian Hume was at Tranmere, and of course I played with him for Canada, and like after every game, "We're coming for you. Okay, whatever, no problem. But it was just before the corner that someone said, "One of the QPR fans giving it, they're winning," and we had to win to keep in front of them. And literally we took the corner. Gino shanked the life out of the corner. He's meant to whip it in under the crossbar. He shanked it, company edge box of me, hit it, and it went in. And then the famous John Byrne shirt come out.
Legend.
No, the first goal Brentford, I took my top off. It was meant to say Byrne on it, but Cat the kit man got it wrong and put my own name on it, the donut.
My own personal favourite was Bircham's at Chelsea.
Yeah, that
was classic. The other thing is,
I couldn't get. And
that was the one under the Canada top, wasn't it?
No, I always used to wear a QPR one under the Canada top. Sometimes under the Mill top, I used to have a white T-shirt that just had a QPR badge on it. I used to wear, but. Yeah, Canada asked me not to wear the QPR top underneath the Canada top, and I just went, no, good luck, I have to wear it.
You're talking to the Millwall, I mean, that was probably one of the best
Birchy on his head.
Performance. Birchy on his line on his arm. I mean,
did you hear it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously you're going to have a different perspective on this, but I mean, no one likes Millwall that much, but their fans, you've got to say, as away fans, when they come to Loftus Road, they always pack it out, and they always give back good support.
Yeah, look, Millwall's close to my heart because I grew up in the youth team, went back there, and I won't have a bad word said against the fans because they do get a lot of stick. And like any time there's any sort of they step out of line, they get hammered for it. But yeah, that game was Tuesday night, packed away, and it was the first time I played against Wisey, who's been a family long friend, and that was the first game I played against him, and he topped me in the first 5 minutes, and he hurt me. And I was like, no problem, because you got to book him for it. And I managed to get him back later, right down his Achilles, so I was happy with that. But with the Millwall fans singing like he's got Birchy and he's had a line on his arm, that is probably the nicest they can be to you.
Yeah.
And it weren't till after the game that I said, yeah, it was great, they clapped me afterwards. And then the home game at the Den, that's when they went a bit nasty on me.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't go to that one.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
No,
it was nice of them,
you were the favourite subject for at least 20 minutes non-stop.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, you're great, and...
But I agree.
It's when they stop singing about you want to worry.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It's almost like,
But to be fair, there are quite a few Millwall fans from the floor market and that, and other people in their stones a pound.
Yeah, so what's it like with a group of players and your manager's on the back page or the front page, under pressure, what?
All depends if you want him out or not, I suppose. I know other teams where managers have been under pressure and they knew if they lost one more game and they happened to lose it, they've gone. But then it works the other way. When we knew Holloway was under pressure, me and Shit was injured all pre-season. That was in the Championship when Ramon Diaz, some bloke. When you get a name pulled out of nowhere, you know he's in charge for a job. And I think we had one more game. And I think me and Danny we'd been out 6-7 weeks. Danny was with his knee, I had my ankle ligaments, and Ollie's like, we need you to play this weekend. He thinks this is his last game. We had Plymouth at home. We hadn't won in the Championship, so we've been up. And he said, look, I think it's my last game if we don't win. And then we beat them 3-2, then we beat Brighton 3-2, then we beat Leicester 3-2, and we went on the run and we won 7 games on the trot, I think, finishing with Stoke away, another famous game. When there's a massive fight in the tunnel with one of your fellow countrymen. But
Bollock naked, I heard.
No, he had a towel around him.
All right, okay.
And flip-flops, that was all right. We can go on that afterwards. But as you said, it all depends on, again, and a lot of the time, nowadays it's different because managers are always under pressure. You've seen Di Matteo's had 11 games, he's out. So you hear rumours. But if you're a good team and good players, you just get on with it and you want to win games. And it's very rarely nowadays with the modern footballer that you get good teams and you get a good core to the team where it polices itself and they want to win. And that's what we had when we got promoted. I think Holloway didn't really have to manage the dressing room. We managed it all ourselves. We policed it all ourselves. He could be the good guy. Like we was doing the fines. We was on at everyone. And that's with the good teams. You speak to anyone, especially in the Championship. It's different. In the Premier League, it's different. But in the Championship, the teams that go up have a good team spirit and they have a good backbone and core to the team. And normally, it's British. Not too many foreigners in the team. That's no disrespect to foreign players, because there's fantastic foreign players. But if you get a core to the team that does well and good team spirit, mostly British, then you do well. That's my worry with. You see the way the team's going at the minute. We're getting quite a few foreign players coming in. It never really works in the Championship. Can't remember a team where it has worked really.
But there's been accusations, but there's just been people saying there's not enough leaders on the pitch. And have you seen QPR? Have you seen that? There's not a lot of talking
that's modern day football though. Like when I was at QPR, towards the end, when I was at QPR coaching, towards the end of it, like when we went up again, Neil Warnock, he was good like that. He believed in that, getting a good backbone. Clint Hill, Sean Derry, even like you look throughout the team, Jamie Mackey, Joey Barton. There's a backbone of British players. Paddy Kenny, goalie. They know what the Championship's about, and every game they want to win. And when you say modern day leaders and everything, and I think the academy system's got a big thing to do with that, as creating characters. Luckily, I was involved with Steve when we was a centre of excellence and it was a proper youth team, and we produced some good players there, but it was still doing your job, you could still talk to them in a manner like they're adults. But these new academy systems, they're all coached the same. They're all being coached the same. They're all being taught the same. They're all being like when we was at QPR, we run the whole academy on around about 300 grand. I think they're spending about 3 million now a year. Yeah. And they've got sports scientists. They've got they're going for psychological tests, and they're being pampered here and there. They're not being treated as men. And I think in every academy that you're going to see in another 5 years, it's going to be even worse, where they've been given everything so young, and they're not being characters being made. And I think we see that. We in another 5 years, we'll be saying this even more when it comes to the national team, because it'll be this next generation of Cat 1 and Cat 2 academies.
What was the inside story, if you can say it, on Sterling? I mean, what actually happened there?
Yeah, but I was there. The story was it was £1 million QPR I got offered for a 16-year-old who realistically he didn't want to leave, but he did. He loved it at QPR. He loved it with Steve. He loved it with us at his local club. He loved just playing football and all. Really wanted to. I remember him crying just before he wanted, because he didn't want to go. But then, because of his agent, and it's Liverpool. It's not like the next in line was Fulham, who bid 250 grand, and he could have gone to Fulham for 250 grand. It's only that Liverpool done it properly with QPR, putting a proper bid. It's £1 million plus the 15% sell on. Technically, because he was only a 16-year-old, we offered him a pro, and to be fair, Gianni offered him the best deal I've ever seen a young pro get. It was a proper offer. And no, he decided to go to Liverpool. He didn't go to Fulham, he didn't go to Chelsea, he went to Liverpool, and he's kicked on. But yeah, the club couldn't have done it any more. We had him training with Jim Jordan in the first team, even when he was 15, and a fantastic young player. And he had some troubled times. He's from Wembley, he's from Stonebridge, and once you get forget about the money. You look at our training ground and you look at our game system that we had. We're in our league was Aldershot, Colchester, Stevenage, Brentford. Liverpool were they're in Europe in their youth teams, and you look at Melwood, the training facilities they got is. Look, the young lad went there. We got good money for him. We ended up getting really good money for him because we got the 50% sell on. So that was the story behind it. Nothing much. Liverpool done it properly. They put in a really good bid. As I said, we could have. The next bid was Fulham for 250 grand. Now that would hurt if he went there. Yeah, so we was making sure that he went to Liverpool.
Yeah. Jim Jordan, you mentioned him there. I mean, we were playing some good stuff under him.
Best football I've seen at Rangers since I was only young, but Terry Venable days. Really, that was the best football I'd ever. I remember we beat Middlesbrough at home 5-1. It could have been 8. Yeah. And that was. We're doing it with players like Rowan Viner, Patrick Adjaman. We're not talking about Premier League players there. We was doing it with them, and I thought he was so unlucky. I thought Jim was so unlucky. I thought he was a really, really good bloke. John Gorman, they got the place buzzing, but being Northern Irish, he had a bit of a hot head on him, to be fair, and he did lose it quite a few times. Yeah. But
Yeah.
That affected us for a bit.
Yeah,
If we'd have left Jim Magilton in there, we'd have done all right.
Yeah.
It's lucky Neil Warnock come along and pulled us up. But yeah, I love Jim, and that was the best football I remember us playing since Terry Venables. Really.
But did it affect Akos as well though, after that?
No, he's got a massive head. You could have run a car on that head. It wouldn't have felt it. That's what. Look,
So were the players disappointed when he got the push then? Magilton?
like most clubs, some players are disappointed, some players are happy. The subs are buzzing.
Yeah.
But but it was no headbutt. I was there. It was a head to head.
Yeah.
And you've seen Akos' head. He could take a Range Rover to that head. It'd be fine. But what didn't help is that he's back to and at Watford. The press room is right outside the dressing room.
Yeah.
So then it just snowballed. But to be fair, I don't mind Akos because he got me and Steve our only game in charge at QPR.
Oh, Christ,
Yeah,
yes.
straight after at West Brom.
Unbeaten, yeah.
How did that feel? Well, the camera's like scanning you all the time, I presume.
Playing, you don't notice it's there.
So was it? I mean, that's weird because you're QPR fan,
Yeah.
QPR player, managing the team. Was it one of those? If it's late in the night and God takes me, it can happen.
Oh yeah, I retired at a young age, and people like just before I was 31 or when I was 31? I was quite young for a player. And how do you feel bad about it? And I got to play for QPR. That was all I ever wanted to do. Like as I said, I didn't play in the Premier League. I had chances to go to clubs to play in the Premier League, and I didn't. And I don't regret it one bit. Now, the only time when I signed for QPR, my only hang up was, what about if it don't go well? Would my love affair with QPR not be as strong? And it turned out it was the best decision I ever made because I ended up coaching them, as I said, managed them for one game. And when people say they're fans of clubs or they support clubs, there's a difference. I was a fan. Me and my brother were fanatics. Like, we used to argue, test each other what minute of the game it went in against Sheffield Wednesday away on the bus to school. And we had lampshades, bed covers, curtains, every kit that's ever gone out. We still got the kits. I passed them on to my kids. And to be fair, my little girl wore my 1982 cup final top to the playoff final when Bobby Zamora scored.
Brilliant.
So, like, little things like that, it's brilliant. And every Bircham is a QPR fan. There's like nothing in between. Like, all my cousins, kids, all of them, all QPR fans. So it was all you ever wanted to do.
I'm kind of jealous.
No, I am. I'm probably the luckiest fan out there. That's how I describe it. I was a fan that got to play for the club, and it was, I tell you when it hit me, when I first see myself in the programme, because I was one of them kids that used to pay to get your head put on someone in shoot when you're in a QPR game. And it was only when I played the first game, I think it was Celtic we played in pre-season, so then I was on the first game cover against Chesterfield, and I was like, I'm in a QPR kit here. And then, like, when I used to go to training, I'm thinking, I'm getting this for free. I used to pay for this. But it's just little things like that. I know it sounds a bit corny, but it's true. Like, I'm getting it all
Nothing
free.
corny about it,
My
mate.
brother was buzzing because I used to get him so much free stuff. But it was, and like just getting tickets and all the family coming to the game. It was like, but I've missed. Like I said, Saturday was brilliant because I've missed not going to the game as a fan. Normally, I've been in football. I've been either a coach at QPR, so I can't go too mad, or I've been an assistant manager at Millwall. So even though I did go mad at Wembley when I was assistant manager at Millwall, some people had to go at me for it. But it's the first time I'm really going to a game where I'm just a fan, like, not involved in English football, and I can just go there and enjoy it with my kids, and it was brilliant.
Ian?
Yeah.
You didn't let me go to ask the question.
No.
All right.
Well, I was going to ask one. Just to the current team. I know, you like you said, you haven't been as much as you'd like to, but in terms of centre midfield, which pairing would you have in there of all the ones we got? I mean, obviously, through injuries, we had to, Ariel Borosiuk, whatever his name is, couldn't play the other day, and Cousins is injured. But if we had everyone fit across the midfield, who would you have in there?
I think if you've brought Cousins, and he's a young enough player, I would play him because I've seen him at Charlton and I liked him. He's a good box-to-box player, a good number 8 that can get up and down. I do think we need to buy a holding midfielder who can also pass and get forward. I think that'd be missing.
You wouldn't have Sandro in there then? A few
No.
fans calling for him on Saturday.
It's hard because I get a fan, because when they was called in and clapping for Sandro, and I was just standing there and like, why are you not clapping for him? I went, well, I'm only going to clap for someone that's actually done something for the club. And I know he scored a goal in the Carling Cup, or whatever it's called now, Auto Tampon Cup, or whatever it's called. And he scored a few goals, but he's been here a few years and he's been paid a fair bit of money not to do much. So would I call for him? Not really. January's coming up, so he could well be fit.
What do you think of Luongo, the way he's played? Because he is naturally an attacking kind of midfielder, and he sort of changed his game a
Masso's
little
hard
bit.
because I see him and I think he's a good player and he's good on the ball, but as a midfielder I want to know what you do, and I think he's a great if you play for a midfield. You have a holder, maybe an attacking midfielder, and then him as well. But in a 4-4-2, as you can see Saturday, you can get opened up even if you've just got one sitting in there, which is Cole Emery, and then Massimo's up there. And
because I think that's what I think they started that against Birmingham.
Yeah,
Borishek, Maz, and Cousins got injured.
Yeah, it's hard because I love QPR. I love QPR at home as a 4-4-2. It's not a big pitch. If you can get wingers and you get two centre forwards in there, look, as soon as you lose the ball, one of the centre forwards drops into midfield, so it's like a 4-3-3. But we've always done well with, if you get two wingers in there and you use the width and get across it. I do like to see that, but as we said, we've not got too many forwards, so it's hard to play two centre forwards if you've not got. I think Porter's a good target man, and it'd be a fantastic sub. And if you're going to do well in the Championship, it'd be great if he could come off the bench. But I don't see him as a 15 to 16 goal centre forward a season, man.
And I'm wondering if he was brought for that. I mean, we do lack that. Perhaps that'll be addressed in January, but I suppose the club would say this season's about consolidation, finishing mid-table, then building from that for the next season.
The hardest thing's to get a good centre forward. That's the hardest thing about it.
It's tricky in this league, isn't it?
The thing is,
costs you money.
When you've got people like McCormack going for, I can't remember what he went for, but I mean silly money to Newcastle. Which one did he go? Villa or Newcastle?
Dwight Gale went. Dwight Gale,
That's
which was
right,
great, but I went to Newcastle.
But look what's happened to Villa. I mean, they've already sacked their manager, and that sort of money is ridiculous. If you're going to sort of shop in the bargain,
Didn't they buy some from Bristol City for 15 million as well?
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, Poulter, when you think of what he was like when he first came here, he's improved a hell of a lot. But you're right, he's not a natural finisher. I don't think he would say that as well.
For Porter to do well, you have to get wingers putting crosses in. If he's not getting crosses, it's pointless him being out there, because he can flick it on, but if he's one up front, he's flicking it on to no one.
Yeah.
So if he plays, you need wingers to get crosses in the box, and then he'll get goals, which is great, which nearly every team does when they're losing. They bring a big man on and they try and go for it. But
I was saying that he did smash the hell out of the Fulham defence one by one on Saturday.
Yeah. He's a very honest player. Centre half to keep you honest. But
I mean, the thing,
he's a hard player to dislike.
I would know. I'll take him all day, every day. But if you're going to be successful in the Championship, he can't be your starting centre forward. Really.
What about Silla though? I mean, could he be the starting centre?
I know
forward?
he's got the longest neck in football.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? It's massive. Yeah. That's probably why he got that header Saturday. Normal people wouldn't have got there.
Yeah.
But
the argument Hasselbank has about not playing 4-4-2 is that you can't play Cherry then.
That's what Hasselbank came when he came on this podcast.
He likes Cherry playing in that hole.
Oh yeah, like Cherry's a problem to the team for me. If he's not doing an Adele and scoring and assisting, like he set up a goal. Yeah. The weekend he set up the winner, brilliant. You can have him in there, but the pressure's on him to keep doing that. Yeah. It was like Adele. When we got promoted, what did he score? 20. He set up 22.
Yeah.
And then when I always said when we were going to Premier League, he's going to be a problem because we have half amount of possession, and he's a waste of space if you ain't got the ball.
On Saturday he did turn up their defence a few times. Is that lovely when he got the ball down and trapped it and took two of their players out? Sorry, but I mean,
no, but
I know what you mean.
If he's our best player, which he is, he's got to score and set up goals. And if he don't, really, you're building your formation and team round him. He's got to be good enough to build your formation and team round.
And he's not. I mean, one thing he doesn't do, he doesn't really get involved in tracking back and stuff, which also
he don't enjoy the defensive side of the game.
No.
So if you put him out wide, then your fullbacks are 2v1, whichever side you put him on.
But that also, sort of doesn't help with. I mean, that was the thing. There was just wave and wave of attacks just coming straight through us. I mean, it didn't help with Corker sort of going for a wander. The centre backs seemed like a million miles away from each other. I don't know. We've got lucky, really. We got out of jail, I think, on Saturday.
But what happens when you lose 6-0 you get nervous as a defence. I don't care what you say. For the next couple of weeks, you do get you're a bit punch drunk, and you're just hoping that nothing happens instead of being confident nothing's going to happen.
Yeah,
and
that's a fair point.
And that happens, and it affects you as a defender. If you've been beat 6-0 at home, I remember, I think I'd done Talk Sport, and they went, "Do you think it was a bit harsh the result because you have 50% possession?" And I went, "Well, we're bound to. We kicked off 7 times. That's got to be about 15%. We had 19 goal kicks. There you go. That's another 20%.
Yeah.
But it's when you lose 6-0 at home and it could have been 10. You're gonna be a bit wary as a defender, and so hopefully we can get a few. All you need is a couple of results, and then that's forgotten about.
Do you know what we have to talk about? You know what I'm going to bring up next, don't you? Probably one of the worst results in our history.
Chelsea?
No.
6-1. I remember.
I'm talking about an FA Cup game at Loftus Road.
Vauxhall Motors.
Yeah. I mean, well, because to us, we scored early. Thompson put it in. We thought we were just going to coast the game, and no one's seen that coming. I mean, the first game was like just nothing. I mean,
it was a gale force wind up there, wasn't it? It
was a wee bit windy, to be fair.
But the home game, I just play quite well.
Only you could say that.
Did you take a penalty?
What's that?
Did you take a penalty in the shootout?
I was the next one to be taken, but we already went out. But Fraser Digsby I think he got released before the game. That's not a great tactic. Let's be honest. If you're
serious?
If you're releasing the keeper, yeah. That's not great. I don't know who done it, but he got told before the game he weren't staying on, and he can get another cup. No, if you looked at him, he went after the game.
Jesus,
yeah,
I remember that.
And we scored and we went through. But again, that was probably the best thing that could have happened to us.
In what respect? Because we went on to get the playoff final.
Well, if you look at our results after that, they kicked on. Brentford, was it 1-1, and then we started building there, and then the other good result we lost 4-0 at home to Cardiff, which should have never been 4-0. I mean, Brett Angel missed 3 sitters in the first half. We battered them first half, and then we lost 4-0, and after that game we kicked on.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
There was 3 results that season, I remember. That was brilliant for us. Vauxhall Motors, which is terrible, but there was Cardiff at home, and the other one was the Auto Tampon Cup away at Southend.
Oh, yes. I was there for that.
Where we was patched up. As a team, like we were playing Saturday, Tuesday, patched up. We didn't have a big squad.
Who was in goal that day? Wasn't he...
I don't know, no one, I don't think. I think they had 4 shots.
4-0, okay.
3-0. Was it 3 or 4?
4, I think. 4-0, yeah.
But
I covered that.
And then we was after the game giving it thank fuck. As a team, because we knew we would kick on, but we're thinking thank fuck we ain't got a two-leg area final, and we ain't got the final to take our mind off getting up. I know it didn't work out because we didn't go up in the final, but we should have. We was a better team in the final. But there's results in the season that can kick you up the arse and kick you on, and hopefully you look at it, the Newcastle 6-0 might be a blessing in disguise, and especially this Fulham 2-1 might be the inspiration we need, especially with the Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and if he can galvanise the team and the team can get round it, like we had under Holloway. There's a couple of things that happened with Holloway and the team got round him when we kicked on. You never know.
Well, the thing with Hasselbank, I know we sort of mentioned it, and I know there's not a lot we can say because there's legal case pending and stuff, but and I thought the same as you, Paul. And initial thought was,
There's no legal case pending. It won't go to court. There's no. The investigation stopped. It's now a dead end.
Right.
Okay. But it don't matter.
Yeah.
Once you get mud slung at you, people are gonna.
The only thing I was sort of, and like I say, I mean, yeah, he was naive. Maybe it was a bit daft. You know, he did this. You know, 55 grand for the speech when we're sort of in the mire, and you know.
I had to have a double take here. I thought he actually had his QPR club blazer on when it was in the Telegraph.
Oh, really?
I had a quick look but it was the white flower when he was sitting on the table. I thought he ain't gone to the meeting in the blazer.
But my only thought is that hopefully, like you say, we're 3 games unbeaten now, which is something to build on. But if things do go back the way they were, if they do back him and he stays the manager, you'd almost feel like, well, we can't be too quickly in sacking him now. Now we've stood by him. So then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think the Telegraph story will have any bearing now. I mean, they've had the pound of flesh. They got rid of the England manager.
Yeah.
The Barnsley guys hit the
In
dust.
no other country would it happen.
No.
In no other country. Can you see Spain or Germany or Italy going after their manager after 1 game? What they would have done was they sat on it for 6 months.
That's a fair point,
and if
actually.
he has won, they would have brought the story out. on Sam Allardyce. In no other country would it have happened.
Yeah.
No, and I spoke to other people, other players from other countries. They would have never gone after the manager after you've just had the worst 2 tournaments in your country's history, nearly. To then you get a New England manager, to then go for him after he's had 1 game, and then set us back even more. So the Telegraph is doing the country no good because we've lost our England manager. Okay, he said he'd do a talk for 50, whatever he said, it 400 grand and be a consultant. In the grand scheme of things, does that really matter? Like, just hold on to it, and if he does, it was a win-win for us. Hold on to it. If he does well, then scrap the story. I know the Telegraph don't get the name out there, but if he does bad, then release it. Like, that's what would have happened in any other country.
As a foreigner, I've always felt that your national team's always been let down by your press since Bobby Robson's days. But that's a personal opinion. I have no right to say that because I support Northern Ireland.
No, we've been let down by the players multitude of times in recent years. The last 2 World Cups, the World Cup and the European Championships we've just had, we were purely let down by the players. There's no managers, there's no press. You can't expect. You see Iceland and you see that game. You can't expect the players to play like that, not be able to pass the ball. Wayne Rooney not being able to control and pass the ball in a game against Iceland. That don't matter what formation you play, don't matter what tactics you do. That's purely players. And I've been on the other side of the fence where I'm the coach in the game where it's not going right, and you've worked on defence. I remember one game at Mill, we worked on defence. Yeah, we're going to do this, and we worked all week on it, all week. We're 2-0 down after 5 minutes because 2 defenders have made mistakes, and you think, what's the fucking point of that?
There's no way in the world they would have prepared for that game, not working on long throws. They wouldn't have done
They've talked about it, they've worked on it, it's impossible, they've done that. And I think Gary Neville done a great interview. He said, what can you do? You've qualified the fastest and been the best team in Europe in qualification. You go there, you're unlucky against Russia, then you have the Iceland. Like, even Slovakia weren't that bad. They just defended and we couldn't break them down. If we'd have got 1, we'd have got 3 or 4. You have them games. But the Iceland game was woeful. And that's just purely players. I know I've gone off tangent there.
No, but talk internationals. You scored once, didn't you?
Yeah, I scored a couple of times, but only one of them was a registered FIFA game.
And where was that then?
That was Ireland away. That was the Guinness Book. I'm in the Guinness Book of Records.
Northern Ireland away.
Northern Ireland.
No, it's just people might pick up on that and say you haven't scored in Dublin.
Yeah,
but
I played in Dublin. How I didn't get booked in that game in Dublin, there's another story as well. Because talking about the Ireland game, we played Ireland away, and Stephen Reid was a good friend of mine. He was playing for Ireland, and I literally paid for my dad, my brother, another mate to go out there. The Gallons went out there. The Gallons are booked to go out there. And on the Friday, we played Plymouth at home, and it was like a top of the table clash. On the Friday, we're in the circle, and I sight at a ball, and I'm like, oh fuck, I think I pulled my groin. And I couldn't move it. And I've gone in to see Prav the physio. I went, Prav, I think I've pulled my groin. And he's like, feeling it. To give it, you pulled it. I went, I can't have pulled it. I've got to go Ireland. And he went, you ain't going anywhere. You've pulled your groin. I went, no. I ain't pulled it. He went, you just told me you pulled it. No, I was joking. I ain't pulled it. And he's giving it, no, you've pulled your groin. I went, give me a fitness test tomorrow. And I'm thinking, fuck, I've paid all this money for the family to go out of Ireland. I might not be going. And I went, fuck, we got Plymouth. It's top of the table clash tomorrow. I went, go, I'll be all right. Give me a fitness test.
Oh dear.
I went, give me a fitness test. And he's going, no. I went, get the manager in. And Ollie comes in. He's going, what's happened? And Prav gave it, but he's pulled his groin out there in the circle. He's like, you done that? I'm like, I didn't do it. I'm just joking. It's all right. It's a twinge. And so they're doing all the tests. I've pulled my groin. And I'm going, no, it's fine. I'm like wincing. Right? And I convinced Ollie to have a fitness test in the morning. So I'm like, I'm Googling what's the best way to get rid of a groin strain. So then now I've got painkillers. I'm nicking these painkillers like Smarties. I'm thinking it'll be all right. Okay, I've got my fitness test at 12. So the rest of the players getting out at 1. Go in there. So I've got a suppository as well. Suppository painkiller, that'll do. So I'm sitting in the toilet giving, oh God, lubing it up. Up there it goes. Anyway. Somehow I've managed to pass the fitness test. So that's the first hurdle done. Now I'm going into the game against Fulham. I'm thinking, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm never going to last this game. I've got a pull groin. So anyway, get through it. Managed to play in the game. Do really well. We beat Plymouth 2-0. Now I'm in proper agony after the game. The painkillers are worn off. My brother don't care. We're going to Ireland. It was Canada v Ireland. So we're out there, meet up with the team. I go to the manager of Canada. I don't think I can play. I pulled my coin. He went, shut up, you played 90 minutes yesterday. I went, I don't know. Don't ask me how I've done it. He said, because Colin Miller, he's interim manager, and he's giving it, I need you to play. I'm like, I'll see what I can give you. I've probably got half in me. So, again, the old suppositories again before the game, lubed up, they've gone up there again. And that was the Graham Kavanagh game, and I accidentally injured Graham Kavanagh. That's a long story with Cav, and we're mates now.
Really?
Yeah, so that was the game there.
I wonder what that was about.
It was old fashioned. He tackled me and I tackled him, and he come off worse like later on. I didn't mean to injure him. I meant to tackle him hard. Anyway, so playing in the game, and I'm thinking, I can't move. Like, I've got a pulled groin, but we're playing, and I got to half time. I think it was 0-0 against Ireland. At half time, I said to man, I'm struggling. Yeah, give me 10 minutes. So I'm playing 10 minutes. I'm looking over, and he said, "You're right. Oh, fuck it, I'll try and get sent off then. So, and then I've tackled someone, and the ref's giving it like, don't do that. I've smashed Robbie Keane, and then Clinton Morrison was playing. I kick Clinton Morrison every game, and he's giving it, Birch, leave me alone, stay away from me, stay away from me. And like, I booted someone else, and he's like, not booked me. I don't think he even had cards because it was like an international friendly then. And so I'm looking over to Colin Miller, the manager. He's going, "Okay, off you come," and I play it. And then when I got back, we had Swindon away, and I'd done my groin and come off. And Ollie went mad at me. "You've been covering that groin up all that time." I went, "Ollie, I got you a win against Plymouth. Come on." Yeah. He went, "You only done that. I go to Ireland." I went, "Yeah, I did. I spent so much money on tickets and plane tickets. I had to get out there."
Brilliant.
That's the best depository story I've ever heard.
Definitely.
Yeah, the stuff that I used to do to get through games. I swear to God, honestly, there must have been 50% of my game. Oh no, I'd say about 40% of my games. I've started thinking that I'm never going to complete these games.
Blimey.
Really?
With injuries. Yeah, I had a fractured foot for QPR for 3 weeks, and because when I first joined QPR, when I got sent off. But I had 3 bookings and a send-off from like my first 4 games. Then I come back. Then I played against Bristol City. We was away, losing, come on. I twigged my medial, but finished the game we played, and then I was out 10 days on medial. Then I come back, and my glandular fever kicked up again, so I missed start. And I remember playing against Northampton, collapsed after the game. And Ollie had glandular fever when he was younger, so he was right on it. I'm going, no, I'm all right. And it was just, I was waiting to get it started. So the amount of, I think we played Peterborough at home. It was on telly. It was live on telly, and I remember I've cleared the ball and I've kicked through and I've kicked Curtis Woodhouse's foot stud. That's so sore. Anyway, carried on playing. So I'm a size 9.5 really. So I was wearing a size 11 boot on my left foot because it's my left foot. I could get away with it. Like a massive pad on it. But I wouldn't go see the physio for like 2-3 weeks, and then I think it might. I'm trying to think. And then we had a spare week for some reason. I don't know. It was called off. Probably the 4th round of the FA Cup. We normally got that spare. So it was the FA Cup week. So that's when I went to. I've limped to after. I've played about 3 or 4 games. I've gone into the physio, Prav, and gave it Prav. Like, my foot's hurting a bit. He said, "When did you do it?" I went, "About 3-4 weeks ago." And he went, "Well, you just get up here," and looked at it. Sent me for an X-ray. Yeah, and I had a hairline fracture on my foot.
Blimey hell, you're the Stuart Pearce of QPR, mate.
Suppositories, again, gets you through. So if any young players out there learn about suppositories, they get you through it.
Unfortunately, we've come to the end of the podcast. Otherwise, I could actually... Mark, when are you next back in the UK?
I'm here for another 2 weeks, and then I'm back on the 6th of December for a month. So
we're booking you for now.
You can book me in.
We'll have you again. Maybe get you and Kev together.
Yeah.
If anyone's got any suppository questions,
exactly.
Send them in now.
I've done it myself, so no one helped me.
Yeah.
It was right.
So you say. Was Jerry Taggart around at the time?
My mate Jerry Taggart. We'll save that for next time.
I remember that game.
That's the first time I've ever seen a 22-man brawl in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Was that the Simon Royce game?
No, that was the year after because of that game.
Yeah. Mark wasn't too keen to leave the pitch.
No, I wouldn't stay on, but the police said if you want to get him out of the stadium alive, you've got to get him off for the final whistle.
The police said that?
Yeah, that's why I come off. Remember, they walked me straight down the tunnel.
Jesus. I thought it was a fair enough send-off, actually, at the time.
He spit my lip. Remember, there was a picture, because Gift and Noel Williams I grew up with, the same age at Watford, playing against each other. He said, but what are you doing? Why are you trying to get in? Why are you cheating? And I'd slit lip. Do you think I bit my lip myself, you idiot? And then a few other words were exchanged, and then the rest of the team wanted to kill me, which I don't mind a fight. I'm right. And so they were saying, like, meet you there at half time. And if you watch that game again, when the half-time whistle goes, you'll never see two teams and a bench sprint down the tunnel as quick as
That was her. Because I remember, because you were kind of hovering around, like, I'll go down. I was saying, I just want to go off. So was there all this big fight going on in the tunnel as...
No, I was in there. So if we got time for it, I'll just give you a little taste.
Oh, we'll do a quick one.
So we've gone in, and as I've run in, like... Jerry's come out a side door in he was wearing a towel and he swung, and then luckily he was a couple of steps up, so he's caught the top of the mohawk, and then I've landed a punch, and then all you hear is like a roar, and it's rumbling, it's all going off, and all I can remember is like Matty Rose is getting lifted up, hanging on to the Stoke dressing room door, giving it Furs help, and then we're punching, and then it was. Yeah, Darryl Russell was a player there, and it just perfectly opened up for me. It was like a clearing in the mist. It was like everything went slow-mo in the chaos, and I managed to catch an absolute beauty. And then we've got the police have come in, and we've gone in the dressing room. And then Ollie's gave it, what are you fucking idiots doing? Well, I've told you, you've got to keep this crowd quiet. And Birch, you're kicking them off again after 5 minutes. I'm like, Ollie, he's elbowed me in the mouth. He split my lip. What do you want me to do? I went, I ain't getting bullied. I ain't getting bullied by no one. And he gave it, that's fucking right. We won't get bullied. We ain't getting bullied. And he was godfather to Pulis's kid, Ollie. So he's going, we ain't fucking getting bullied, but I fucking hate bullies. I'll show them bullies. He's gone out. And he's gave it, boom, kicked the Stoke dressing room door open. He's giving, Tony, you want to fucking bully us? We'll fight. If you want to fight, we'll fight. He's like, get out of the dressing room. And they'll get that Bircham to cheek barrow. We'll fight. And then he's gone out. And then he's giving, right, second half, keep the crowd quiet. Fucking fight them, but not too much to keep the crowd quiet. Oh, okay, and we've come out for the second half. And ITV were following us about. So if you look at ITV, they're following us about because we equal the record of wins if we win. And the cameraman's been like laid out he's got concussion. He's been punched in the tunnel, and I think it was it Matt Lorenzo, whoever that is. I remember him just shouting at him. Did you get the footage? He's KO'd on the floor. He's sparking. So anyway, as we come out, and I didn't know this till I watched it back afterwards. They get Ian Holloway, and he's outside the tunnel, and I think it's Matt Smith done it, and he went, so Ian, looked like there was a lot of commotions going on in the tunnel, and like. Normal managers give it, no, it was handbags. He's going, oh, it's gone right off in there. It's gone right off in there, but we've looked after ourselves and we're coming out to win the second half. And like Kev's, like 10 minutes in the second half, ball's gone into Kev, he's put it in and he scored 1-0. So as we're going back to the centre, Adi Akinbaye, another story, has come up to me. Like he had these like muscles on muscles. You get the traps and then the ultra traps and then they're above the ear. He's gave it that one. If you win, I'm going to kill you. And I'm like, oh, God. I gave AD every chance if you're up front because you're never going to score. And I managed to get back to the centre. So now he's rearing up, killing me. And then that was it. And so I just played 1 and 2 touch because they were looking to do me. And then that was when Ollie's put my number up. Fuck, I ain't coming off. He's like, like one of them. And then he pulled me off. And then the police walking me down the tunnel. And I couldn't believe it. Someone hit me with a £2 coin. And I'm giving it a Stoke. I didn't know you could afford that up here. Stoke, I was like, cheers, keep coming. The police like, leave it, let's go. Collecting them in. But then, I got a call, like on the Monday, I got a call. Who got a call? Aaron Brown, who knows Adi Akinbaye. And that later that week, giving it, he's telling me he's getting done. What's wrong with him? He's sick in here. What's wrong with him? I'm like, what? And he's giving it Birch. Did you send a signed photo to Jerry Taggart and Stoke saying thanks for the 3 points, see you next year? And I'm giving it, no, of course I didn't. They're giving it. Well, someone. So I think a QPR fan out there, if you're out there, someone has sent Stoke a signed photo of me giving it thanks for the 3 points. They're like, you've got to ring up and apologise to that. And I went, no, but it's brilliant. Whoever's done it, that's brilliant. But I'm not apologising for that. And then I got a letter from a Stoke fan who contacted me on Twitter literally a couple of years ago. He sent me a letter saying I was a disgrace to football. Probably right. Disgrace to football, and I should be ashamed of myself. And he sent a £5 to get me a haircut. And I went, so I go, thanks for your letter. I sent one back. Yeah, thanks for your letter. But it's London prices down here. I can't even get my sideburns cut for a £5. So if you want to send another like 30 quid down, I'm more than happy to cut me out. And he contacted me on Twitter a couple of years ago, giving do you remember me? I was the one that sent the letter. Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Red, we've got to end up. But we haven't even talked about the blue and white hair. So next time, we're going to bring a list of things we're going to talk about. This has been a
I think the R's end has just got to be predictions, isn't it? We're well over.
I think we're well over, and I can just see Mr. Fraser getting ready to phone me in the morning.
Well, the blue and white hair, we're talking about it with Kev because it all started about getting absolutely shit-faced after an army camp in... Where was we?
On the other hand.
Yeah, so that we'll wait for next time.
No, go on, you said it now, go on.
No, we'll wait for Kev here. So that's how the blue and white hair come about, because it was a drunken... We snuck out of the army base in the boot of a car, me and Kev. And I think Tomo was there. Yeah, so me, Kev and Tomo, because I just signed for QPR, and me and Kev gave it, look, I've been signed for a week and we've not even had a drink. So we decided, I'll tell you about it next time, because it was the worst day's the hardest day's training the next day on an hour's sleep I've ever had. But the blue and white hair come from that.
Brilliant. It's great to leave it on a cliffhanger, mate.
Yeah, tell you what.
December, everyone's going to be gagging for this.
Quick R's end. You can have a point and you can have a prediction.
Okay, well, the prediction, I suppose, Reading at home. I don't know. I mean, it could be anything, but that team that went out the other day, depends who's playing. I'll say 3-2 QPR. And yeah, the only R's end was just Poulter's outfit. Did you see that? He tweeted he was going to Barcelona, great for the 3 points, heading to Barcelona. He was dressed head to toe in this red outfit, which someone called, someone likened to a hot dog. Someone said it was Red Riding Hood, and someone else, which I quite like, described it as proper rascal. So
I'm liking it.
So, yeah.
Ian, by the way, thanks for coming down. I know that you had a busy weekend, and how's the hangover?
Getting there.
Good man, good man. What would you like to say at your hour's end?
I thought the support actually on Saturday was really good. I find at home games can be a bit... In fairness, I thought the support was good against Birmingham, the World game. They were a lot better, but I don't know. I just don't get this obsession with Sandro. There was a bit like walking out of the game. We just beat Fulham 2-1, and he's moaning because Sandro didn't come on. So like, we just be happy. We just enjoy beating Fulham for once, and just.
Yeah, and I get that. We're going against Reading.
1-0.
Good. Before I do mine, Mark, I want you to do yours, ours end. This is where we say predictions and a message we'd like to give to anyone at all.
Anyone at all?
Yeah.
I've got no.
Don't thank your family for Christ's sake. We're here for all night.
Yeah, I know. A prediction with Reading. I think it's going to. I'm not going. I think it'll be 1-1.
All right. Okay.
I think it'll be 1-1 at home. And hold on. No, I just want to thank QPR fans up there Saturday. They were brilliant. Like, it's the first time we've been back for a while, and it was great. And it just makes me proud to be a QPR fan. When we have that many fans away from home, there's nothing better.
It was a proper old school away day.
Yeah, it was.
Hugging strangers and that, because I went on my own because my mates didn't go, and I was thinking it's a bloke who'd been going for like 60 years.
I think I hugged most of the people in the Weatherspoons in Hammersmith.
You did actually. It was. Do you know what? It was historic. It was wonderful. It was brilliant. But it was made that way because of the years of suffering that we've had. And as you said earlier on, we talked about Vauxhall Motors. We got the playoff final. That's QPR. So my prediction for Reading, and I don't want anyone thinking I'm getting carried away, is 7-0. All right?
To Reading?
No, to us. I'm not getting carried away in one game. We're going to win the league. We're going to beat Reading 7-0. We're going to win 3 rounds of the FA Cup, and Conor Washington's going to take Northern Ireland to the World Cup. This has been Open All Hours. Marc Bircham, can I just thank you for everything you've done for our football club?
Pleasure.
You are one of our own, and thank you for wearing this shirt with such pride.
You said I was a fan that got lucky, really.
You're one of our own, Mark. Thank you so much, big man.
Cheers.
And see you again in December when you get over. This has been Open All Hours. Thank you so much for listening. Come back again next week.
QPR, QPR, Park Rangers